How's it going, guys? Swood here, and today I wanted to bring you 5 decks that I really like to push ladder in Clash Royale. So I don't push ladder that much. As you can see, I'm at 4,000 trophies, but these are some decks that I know are pretty strong in ladder. I did a couple different win conditions just so whatever cards you guys have leveled up, you can use that deck. And the only thing is I did not include a Royal Giant deck, but I mean, if you do have Royal Giant like level 12 or level 13, make sure to use him. The main thing I want to point out about ladder is use the cards that you have leveled up. There's not necessarily like a best deck that you should spend 100,000 or 200,000 gold to upgrade. You should just use whatever deck you have the highest level cards of. But I'm going to give you a couple different variations of different decks so you can see what you have upgraded and then sort of sub stuff in. So here's the regular Mortar Rocket Cycle deck. It's become popular now, so that's pretty strong. We're going to do a game with every single deck, and then you guys can sort of see how I play the decks and how I adjust to the levels, because I'm a level 12, but I'm at 4,000 trophies where there's lots of leveled like 10s and 11s, but I have the card levels of like a level 10, and the people that are at 4,000 trophies, they have like the card levels of like a level 11 or 12, so I'm actually at a bit of a disadvantage even though I have the higher tower. So here's the Mortar deck. Second, here's a Mortar Hog deck. This one's really strong. As you can see, like all my commons in this deck are level 9, which is like tourney standard for a level 9, not a level 12. So should be interesting. I haven't played that match yet. This is my personal Hog deck that I use on ladder because I have the archers and mega minions super leveled up. They're 1 level off max. I only have 3 cards that are 1 level off max. That's these two and the, where is it? The elite barbarians. I don't actually use those anymore. That was just back when they were OP in 2016. And then the only card I have max is Zap. So I have all 3 of those in there, along with just a Hog Fireball, some quick cycle cards. Remember, just whatever support cards you have that are leveled up, I would recommend using those. If you don't have a lot of gold, I'd just say use 10 or 15 cards, level those up, and just rotate through those 10 or 15. Don't try to go level up 50 cards because you're going to run out of gold super quick. So here's a more popular Hog Cycle deck. The normal ones normally have like goblins for the skeletons, but that was before the update. I haven't actually pushed in a couple months, so I'm not sure what they're actually using now, but I would assume it's skeletons. And lastly, here's a Giant deck if you do have your Giant leveled up. The more popular variation of this for competitive play is Night Witch for the Musketeer, but this deck is still really good. It was a little hard for me to play this matchup because, as you can see, I have a bunch of level 9 commons, but we actually did play this match already for the Giant deck, and you can see right here, we did end up winning. The guy actually had Fireball and arrows, which was really interesting for us because, as you can see, my main damage dealers are all swarmy troops that he can arrow away. So anytime he played a Hog or a Giant, he was able to just arrow my troops. So you'll see how I'm able to interact with that and try to play around it. So we'll go in 2 times to start it out. We'll see how it is. If it's too fast, we'll slow it down. So I don't want to just play minions up because they can get value. Like you can play a Witch into it and then just get value on the counterattack. So I just do my own Hog. I Fireball Zap the Witch. I was hoping he'd play something else at the exact same time and I would get more value, but I didn't. So we sort of just trade pushes there. He plays Barbs and I play Minions, and both our pushes die out. And here I'm going to go for a push, and at the exact same time, so it's unfortunate timing, I go for a Miner Goblin Gang, and then he Hogs. And I am going to slow this down because I was going too quick. And so it may have looked like it was like one after another, but on the actual game it was one at a time. So I was just at like 3 elixirs, so I played a Musketeer opposite lane. And then you can see he played his own Musketeer for the Miner. I zapped it and was able to get my Musketeer to get 2 more shots. So that's like a couple hundred damage for a zap. So that was really good. And as you can see, I let him arrow my Minion Horde. I should have played the Minions first, and then when he arrowed, played my Minion Horde after. That's what you want to do if you're playing against someone with arrows, but I sort of forgot that he had arrows. So here I tried to do something really cool where you can, if you played on the inside tile, you're not supposed to normally do that with Miner, but if you have troops counterattacking down the other lane, it distracts both towers, and those troops can actually provide a pretty deadly threat. So that's why I did that. As you can see here, he pushed down a Hog and he had a counter-attacking Witch, so I knew I wasn't going to save that tower, so I just played a Musketeer opposite lane, hopefully to counterattack, but it did die. But my goal is just to sort of let the tower go, but still like make sure to kill it. And here I just start up a Giant, I Miner the Witch, and then I Fireball. And as you can see with this Fireball in 1 second, he plays Barbs. So I get good value on the Fireball, which is really nice. I'm able to take that tower, and we're in a 1-1 situation. Even though he I don't really have any way to stop his pushes, so you can see here I'm just trying to like, I'll play one card and then Musketeer also to help out with DPS, and he's going to arrow my one troop, and then I play a second troop, and he's not able to do that, counter that one, unless he fireballs, which he actually didn't do it at all. So what I do here is I just decide to Giant in the pocket, because I'm going to always have like a Musketeer counterattacking on the left, and like minions counterattacking up the right. So it's just good to throw a Giant in front, and the sound just sort of stopped there. I'm not sure what happened. This is my first time I'm actually using game sound. I figured out how to actually do it, so hopefully it's not killing your ears. I tested it before, so hopefully it's good, but it's sort of sounding a little freaky for me right now. So here we're just going to drop another Giant in the pocket, and I believe we take it on this one. I don't remember exactly, but the Giant is distracting the witch so that my minions can actually go and kill the witch. And here, watch this. So you can see I actually fireball the hog so that it pushes back, because I knew that my fireball wouldn't be able to hit the tower in time, and none of my other cards would have really made an impact. So I decided to defensive fireball. And actually this sound is sort of going crazy, so I'm just going to turn it off. Let me know how it was for that first little bit, if you liked it or not. I'll try to fix that for the next one. So that was the Giant deck. Here is my personal hog deck. I'm going to speed through this one actually, because the key in my deck is I have an overleveled zap. So I can zap any goblins from either Goblin Gang or Goblin Barrel that aren't level 13, and any minions that are 2 levels or under, so they're level 11 minions, I'm able to zap away, and it's insanely strong. I really enjoy having zap max. It's the one card I do have maxed, and although I don't really want to max any of my cards because it's just sort of a waste of gold, it is enjoyable playing the max zap on ladder when I do play. So in this one, there's not going to be much to go on. As you can see, I catch his princess. I know that he has princess in rotation, and once all the troops die out, you sort of just play your troops up front, so that if they do play a princess, you can catch it. Because there's no way to actually catch the princess once it's already played, unless it's an E-Wiz, because it can zap it. But every other card in the game, you have to play it preemptively to the princess. So you just can see I'll normally split my cards up in the front just to be safe, even if he doesn't have princess in hand, to sort of get into that rotation where you're always playing your cards up there. And he's not able to get too much going on. I'm leaning on my heavier cards like my archers and my Mega Minion that are overleveled, and my zap especially. And he just has a squishy deck, and I have like a lot of counters, so he's not able to do too much. But this is just an example of what you can do with your personal deck. If you're able to overlevel a couple cards, this is sort of what you're going to be able to do. So in my situation, I have an overleveled zap, but for you, if you have like an overleveled mortar, it's going to take them more hits to kill it, and it's going to get more shots on the tower. So I'm going to be using level 9 mortar, so that will be interesting. So I use those two decks. The other decks that I'm going to play a match with is this Hog Cycle, this Hog Mortar, and the Mortar Cycle. So let's start with the Mortar Cycle. I'm at 4,000 trophies. So you can see I am against a level 11, but I'm willing to bet that he's going to have higher card levels than me. So as you can see, like a level 9 mortar, I don't even know what level my cards are, so I have to like put them down on the screen to actually see. So we'll see how we do. I'm sure I'll be able to get a couple of these wins. And I believe Clash with Ash had someone on his channel a couple weeks ago, or like a week or two ago actually, using this deck. So if you are interested in someone who solely uses this deck, like, and give a guide on it, that was on Clash with Ash's channel. I'm not the greatest necessarily at this deck. I've used it a couple times, but it's not like I use it all the time. So the one good thing about my tower being leveled up is I can one-shot the fire spirits from anything like a level 9 furnace or below, so that's really not going to do anything. And I can two-shot weak minions, so I have a bit of an advantage there, but all in all, I still think they have the advantage if they have the higher card levels. So he's going to play like an Inferno Dragon right here. Oh, he plays a P.E.K.K.A. That is interesting. Ooh, nice arrows actually. So I'm not going to have too much for this. This actually just shreds my knight in 2 hits, and then he... Oh, God. So do not let that happen to your tower with a P.E.K.K.A. I overextended on the mortar trying to catch his Inferno Dragon, but he just played a different card, and that's why you need to learn your your opponent's patterns first and then actually counter after that. So he's going to furnace here. I'm just going to defensive mortar that. I don't play my mortar in the middle because he would have been able to fireball the archers, the mortar, and the tower. And after this, I'm going to set up another mortar and then try to rocket cycle him out. So once this mortar goes down, place some troops at the bridge, get a little pressure chip attack in here. I'm actually going to rocket that. And if you played another card that was lower down, I would NATO it to the rocket. But because he didn't have any other cards that were able to get NATO'd, I wasn't going to do that because it's just a waste. So I'm expecting him to play either P.E.K.K.A. or Inferno Dragon. Ewis is fine to clean up. Next is P.E.K.K.A. or Inferno Dragon. Those are weird arrows, but I'll take it. So I'm not sure if we're going to win this one. It's pretty close. We need one more rocket, obviously. So I'm actually, this is like what the best part about mortar. Actually, I think I might have messed it up. Oh no! So you see, if they're within like a couple tile radius of the mortar will just shoot something else. So if you're playing against like a hog or a giant, that's a really cool way. You can just play like at the bridge in the middle. It'll pull it to the middle, but it'll still shoot something else, which is really good because you don't really want your mortar or your expo to be shooting a tank. You want it to be shooting the tower. So that's a cool trick for people who don't really play mortar lots. Obviously, the people who do play mortar, you're gonna know that. So I'm not able to give you too many tips on that, but as you can see, he had some level 11 commons versus my mix of level 9, 10, 11, and 12 commons. So overall, I'm not too sad. He doesn't really have a win condition, so all his damage was from P.E.K.K.A. So that's interesting. Moving on, though, I'm a really good player. Let's not... Yeah, I didn't get 3 P.E.K.K.A. hits on my tower. Shh, don't tell Mike. So I'm just going to start out aggressive. I have a Zap, which is over leveled, so I'm taking advantage of that. If he plays any swarms, I'd be able to just like really punish him on that very first push. And I was probably going to play Hog anyway, so I just did it earlier on so that it would catch him more off guard. So here I play my Ice Golem in the front to try to catch the Miner. I zap the Balloon so that it doesn't get a hit on tower. And then my Minion Horde is able to counterattack it. It is level 9 minions, so they get 2-shot by the tower. I believe if it's 2 levels underneath the tower, it gets 2-shot. These are things I'm not insanely sure on because I don't play ladder lots. So if you are someone who does play ladder, I recommend you sort of learn these kind of things, especially with the cards that you are playing in your deck. You want to learn like the interactions with your cards. If you have cards that are over leveled or under leveled, you want to learn what that changes. So he has a Hound Loon deck. So, not good. So I'm going to be able to zap those Lava Pups. That's the saving grace here, but that tower is going down. I can rest assured that. So we'll zap this, and we will bats, but I believe the tower is still going to go down. Actually, that went a lot better than expected. I thought he was going to zap my bats, and the Infernal Dragon would lock on the tower, so we came alive surviving. Next time he hounds, because I think he has a bit more elixir, I'm going to Ice Golem and then Hog. There we go. And I don't have Zap in hand, so I can't really play anything else. I'm just going to leave that, and whatever happens, happens. Ooh, unfortunate. So the Infernal Dragon locked on the Hog, which is unfortunate. I wanted it to lock on. So he does have arrows in hand. I'm aware of that. I try to play my Goblin Gang first. Hopefully he arrows that. If he's smart, though, he won't. He'll just do that. So now I have to play my Minion Horde into his arrows. And then... So that sort of went backwards. Ideally, you want to be playing like the bats and let those get arrowed. And then you play your Minion Horde after. But I didn't really have a great cycle for that. So this is actually going to get to tower, which is unfortunate. The tower's actually going to go down. But I get a bit of damage from my Hog, which is good. And I'm going to be able to take a tower on the other side. So I'm sure this game is mine. Watch me lose now and choke. But I'm pretty confident. So it actually has a Skarmy, which is odd, but I'm able to just zap it away. Balloon's going to be coming in the middle soon. But I do take that tower. See if my log would have... Oh, my log would have taken. It's level 3. but balloon's coming down right now. So that is game. Level 9 mortar is OP. Try it on ladder. If you want better results, maybe upgrade it. That's just a small tip, but as you can see, it does work at level 9 too. So level 9 mortar, level 9 hog, they're both rares, right? So it's the same thing. So the last, is this the last deck? This is the last deck. So this is a motorcycle deck with tornado. It's pretty popular down in the, like, not the super high up range, but it's like the mid-tier range of the level 12s and level 13s that are like semi-maxed with rares and commons. If I didn't already mention this in the video, as you can see, all these decks are very common and rare intensive. Like the only epic I think is the tornado. Yeah, because epics and legendaries are really hard to level up. If you are building your own deck as like this one was, you could do something where like you request the same epic every week, and then you can put that epic into your deck. So that's sort of what bait players did with Goblin Barrel, because if you only have one epic, you can level that up and then also level up like rares and commons at the same time through requesting. But for the most part, you just want to be playing commons and rares if you're trying to push up with a non-max account. So here again, I'm going to hog early because I'm going to hog anyways. I don't want to play a musketeer in the back, and for a video, I don't really want to be waiting to see what he plays. So I'm just going to do that. I'll be able to musketeer this and then do a little counter attack. Yeah, I'll do that. I could have ice spirited also, but I just want to get the counter attack. And it's actually good that he pumps. Not good for him, but good for me. He shouldn't be doing that because I already have troops on the field. So my musketeer is actually able to get through there. Could pre-log. Not sure what he has, though. He has minions, so it wouldn't have done anything. But if he would have had like goblins, that would have been good. My tower will clean that up because my tower level is higher. So I'm going to wait for him. I'm going to wait till 10 because I think he might pump again. I'm not sure if it's in hand. Oh, he doesn't, so he has golem. So we'll go opposite lane. I'm not worried to take this tower. I'm sure I'll take it later on in the game. So that's going to get a lot of damage over there if he doesn't commit anything else. The bandit splitting off is really nice for me. I'm able to just like ice spirit that and should be able to leave it alone. Play an ice golem just to make sure it doesn't dash on. But I'm just going to hog. So I'll just tornado this, and the Mega Minion shouldn't do too much. So if there's a golem and one other troop, the tower is going to target the other troop once the golem dies. So this is sort of what makes the Night Witch so OP. It spawns bats, and then the tower hits one bat, and then goes back to the golemites. But if there's no other troops, it's just like the Night Witch or just the Mega Minion, then or a baby dragon, then the troop will be targeted. So you don't really have to worry too much, which is why I hogged at the same time, because wasn't really too worried because I knew the Mega Minion would die after the golem. So as I'm talking, I'm just sort of just kiting this Mega Knight around, giving him his exercise. So I will ice golem this. I would zap it if I had our skeletons, but I don't have either of those. So just do that. He sacrifices minions for my musketeer. And I really can take either tower right here. I could win 2-0 if I really wanted to. Obviously, I'll go this way. Ice Spirit to combo with something if he plays a troop to defend it. He doesn't. He just lets it go, which is a smart idea. He's trying to take a tower here. But he's not going to be able to. We're able to just cycle to a second musketeer. We'll tornado that all up to keep my musketeers alive. And then throw an ice golem in front. As you can see, we still have both musketeers alive. If we had another like 30 seconds, I could go push and take that tower. But I won't be able to play minions right here, I think. No? Oh. Well, if I had another second, actually, I could have taken that tower, so I lied on that. But, so that is the last match. I did 3 matches live, and then I did the two replays. So let me know if you like the replays more or the live games more. I can do either or. Just sort of whatever you guys want. And remember, use the deck that you have the highest card levels. You don't want to be spending your gold on new decks. So this is my deck. It's not the most efficient, but it's what I use. And it works completely fine for me. Like if I really wanted to, I could push up to 4,900 or 5,200 with these card levels. As you can see on my profile, I've only pushed to 5,000 for the 4,900 chest. If I wanted to, I could push to 52. I'm fairly sure that when you get higher up, obviously it would be nice because I can upgrade every single card here. So if I do want to push up when I upgrade my deck, I'm going to be pushing to like 55 or 5800. So I'm sort of waiting for my other cards, like the epics and the legendaries. But that's not sort of the theme of this video. I wanted to be showing some decks that everyone can use. So again, don't necessarily copy these card for card. Just sort of take the key elements and you see the cards that you already have maxed, and then you can make adaptations from that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little long, but I wanted to get all these decks out to you so you can have a lot of options. Hope you guys have a good day. See ya, YouTube.